let's talk about Timothy Haslet Jr. and what doesn't make sense about black folks. But I'm going to let you listen to the report first. Give me just a second.
Digging. First off, how disturbing is this photo? This poor kid. Alright, so let me give you the 411 on this sick bastard before I go into the details. So if you're not tracking, a woman in Excelsior, Missouri went up to the neighbor's house who then called 911 on 39-year-old Timothy Haslet Jr. When the police arrived on the scene, they saw a woman in latex lingerie, duct tape around the mouth, and she even had a dog collar with a padlock soldered to her neck. She then tells the police that she was kidnapped on Prospect Avenue and she's been held hostage for a month in this man's basement. Something I learned to note, okay? The community had actually been coming together for several months now because black women have been going missing, and the description that they give has been happening on Prospect Avenue. But no one's been listening to the community. Now, on the things that I have recently learned, it's a sealed search warrant for 30 days. That basically means that the public may possibly know nothing about this until it goes to trial. The police are still releasing no comments on if other victims were found, on what evidence was or was not collected. The police are silent. And if you're a detective like me, you probably noticed that is his house in the background, you guys. That house is the address of 301 Old Orchard Avenue, and it's boarded up, and obviously they don't want people going in there. This bastard also has multiple warrants out for his arrest, including an animal cruelty charge. This man has been doing something for some time now. Now, I think it's important to note what I said earlier, because the victim said that there were, in fact, other black women like herself in that basement. She goes on to telling the police that they were her friends and that he took their life. And let's circle back to the communities actually coming together and talking about how black women have been going missing. And they've been saying things like Prospect Avenue, but the police said that wasn't enough evidence for them to really look into it. But hello, this victim says that she was picked up at the beginning of September by this gentleman. I wouldn't call him a gentleman, but by this thing on Prospect Avenue at the beginning of September. It's also said that his bond was supposed to post on 10/18, but it's now delayed by his lawyer, postponed until November 8th. So the police are very hush-hush. We don't know many details, and we may have to wait until this goes into trial. The victim, who was thankfully rescued, we should say, she had whip marks on her back. Whip.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. And I want to find another video, because as I scrolled through, what I was doing was looking for a black woman that had anything. Hold on. I think this is her.
Court documents were released yesterday on what's been going on in Excelsior Springs. If you've been following along, the woman escaped, being kept in the house, that whole situation. The court documents say that the victim said that she was picked up in early September, so she's been held in his basement since early September. Some other things were released in the court documents. You can go read about it. I don't really feel like trauma dumping. It's not good. The police do recognize that the victim reported there were other victims, but so they recognize that the victim says there were other women, but they haven't found it.
Okay, this is a repeat. I'm trying to find a video because there was a woman who actually is from the neighborhood. Okay, now I have run across 3 black females, right, who are talking about this, because something that I was going to light up on fire about is how whenever there's some stupid ass gay rumor about a celebrity or something, like what you seen last week with Hennessy Marie, you have literally got countless, endless channels that sit around and talk about some trivial, messy, crappy garbage like that continually. But the lack of black women that are talking about this, it's enough to make your brain explode. Anyway, I found the channel. I want you to listen to just one more video because this female is literally from the neighborhood of the people that were reporting that this guy was killing folks. And you got to wonder, how does my channel have such a small number of subscribers? This is just devastating investigative information that a damn news reporter should be doing.
I have an update on the court proceedings for Tim Haslet, the man in my neighborhood who was holding a woman captive, and she managed to escape on Friday while he was at the drop-off line for elementary school. He was given these charges. Today he was seen in court, and he entered a plea of not guilty.
Wow.
And requested a public defender.
I'll tell you why.
He has been given a bond amount of $500,000.
That's $50,000 to get out.
On conditions to have no contact with the victim and to wear a GPS.
Now, don't you touch those girls now, Timothy. Don't you touch them. Put that wrist out here. Hold on. Now, you got that wrist out there? Did y'all hear that? Hold on. Let me do it again. There's a slap on the wrist, Timmy. Don't you touch those girls.
Bracelet. At this time, there have been no additional charges for any additional victims. They did an interview with the woman that he had abducted and kept, and she said that he picked her up on Prospect in Kansas City, Missouri. She said she was kept in a small room in his basement since the beginning of September, bound by her hands and feet. I have an update on the court proceedings for...
Okay, and like you, the bond is $500,000. It costs 10% to get out, so that's $50,000. That's nothing. That's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money for a person who you got the police with 4 dead bodies being pulled out of your house. $50,000 is a get out of jail for free card. And all this covering up, look, this is just Jeffrey Dahmer 2.0. And I'm not going to say that I'm glad that this happened, but I hope that this shines a light on just how trivial and idiotic people are to sit around attempting to try to make jokes over things like Jeffrey Dahmer's glasses and taking it lightly that a company like Netflix would sit up there and do that. Because this is mass widespread covering up. This is the killing of black women, but I'm going to tell you what this is also. These were prostitutes. If you listen to the in between the lines stuff, this girl claims that she knew the other 3 women and that they were picked up on Prospect. I would probably look at that area and see if it was known for being an area for drugs and prostitution, because she said she knew the girls, and if they knew each other, they were probably, if 3 people for sexual purposes all knew the same guy, then something of that, activity was probably going on. And what do you see on Ghetto Gaggers? Look, a society that has set up and looked at wide open GRAPE, grape, a whole bunch of purple grapes, and had just sat up there and looked at that stuff for years and done nothing about it. You don't have any political outrage. You don't have people such as Professor Crunk and Stacey Abrams and all these people like FD Signifier that come out and write articles about black men being the white supremacists of the black community. You don't get none of these people that come out and say anything about it. You've got a wide open permission slip for every sociopathic white incel to go out there and do what they want to do to a black woman. And you have an entire news media complex and a political system that sits up quiet and sits up silent and does unequivocally nothing. And you got nothing but people like me and a handful of TikTok channels that even bother to talk about it. Because trust me, the news media with this much local silence, they're only talking about it because a certain particular light has been shined on it, man. I'm out.